Merry Christmas. We have a special Christmas Day panel talking about the naughty and nice list. We'll start off with politics. Let's bring in our panel. Steve Hayes, senior writer for the Weekly Standard. Ron Fournier, senior political columnist of National Journal. Mara Liasson, national political correspondent of National Public Radio. And syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer. Okay, Steve, first is the naughty list when it comes to politics in 2016.
Yeah, the person on my naughty list, at the very top of my naughty list, is actually people, the mainstream media. I think the coverage of President Obama and Hillary Clinton in particular this past year has been abysmal, and I'll use two examples. One, President Obama about a week ago was talking about closing Guantanamo. He said two things that were factually incorrect, clearly, unequivocally wrong, misleading, not true. Virtually no media coverage of the president's misstatements or of the president's lying. Secondly, the Hillary Clinton Benghazi testimony was filled with things that were either incorrect or deliberately misleading. And aside from a couple of reporters who fact-checked her claims, the media basically celebrated the fact that she had won a victory over those mean and evil Republicans.
All right, lump of coal, who do you give it to? Politics.
I feel like you just put a lump of coal in my stocking there as a mainstream media.
I didn't target you. You were one of the exceptions on the Hillary Benghazi thing.
To that point, I'm going to put Hillary Clinton in the give her a lump of coal, but not for subverting the Freedom of Information Act over her emails, not for undermining legislative oversight, not for undermining the whole idea of a historical record, but for lying about it. And let me just talk about that word for a minute. In life and in politics, there's all kinds of gradations of deception. Spinning, white lies, misstating something. You don't use the word lie, at least I was taught in journalism, unless you know the person. Not only do they deceive, but they knowingly deceived. In this case, there's no way that Hillary Clinton does not know that it is wrong when she says what I did was above board and it was allowed. She knows, she must know, that it was not allowed to have a private server taking all of her email off the books. That's a lie.
Okay. Mara, naughty list.
Well, I give a lump of coal to Donald Trump for completely breaking every rule in American politics. Now, some people might think he deserves a cookie for that, but he's completely flummoxed the Republican establishment, and he's injected a lot of demagoguery and a lot of false statements into the race, and he's succeeded at that, but he still gets a lump of coal.
Charles.
My lump of coal goes to the GOP for doing everything it could, in addition to what the media have done, in reviving the Clinton campaign. She was spiraling in the middle of the year, and then she got all the help that she could from Republicans, starting with Kevin McCarthy, with that unbelievable Kinsley gaffe where he said essentially the Benghazi hearings, which they were not, was about taking her down. The Benghazi hearing themselves, which were completely botched, again with the help of the media, but not conducted in a way that in any way exposed the real truth. And lastly, the insane fighting among the Republicans themselves, led by another coal carrier, Donald Trump, so attacking each other that they left her and Obama out of almost all of their debates. Those words, proper nouns, are missing, and that was a great opportunity, a whole summer and fall, to make the case against her candidacy, not made.
Okay, we had expansive naughty lists. We're going to speed up the nice list. Politics 2016. Steve.
Yeah, so the person at the top of my nice list is Bernie Sanders, actually. Somebody that I don't agree with very often, really don't agree with on anything. But I like the fact that he's run a spirited campaign built on grassroots. He's raised a lot of money because he says the things that he believes. Now, he's saying these things as a socialist, which I think presents interesting questions for the Democrats. But he's making an argument that I think is an authentic argument. It's something that we're missing too much in our politics.
Nice list. Politics.
I would pick two people, Democratic Representative Joe Kennedy III and Republican freshman Elise Stefanik of New York. Gotten to know both of them through the Harvard Institute of Politics, but to me they reflect this rising generation of millennials who generally are very can-do, pragmatic, less ideological, more tolerant than their parents' generation, and the kind kind of politicians, especially with the radical connectivity of the internet, who could really reform the way we run our campaigns, the way we run our government.
Nice list, 2016.
I put Nikki Haley on the nice list, governor of South Carolina. She's not running for anything, but she did conduct herself with a lot of class. And after the Charleston killings, really tried to bring her state together. And also, recently, she wasn't afraid to speak out against Donald Trump.
Nice list for 2016. Paul.
Bernie Sanders, but for a slightly different reason from Steve, not because of his personal sincerity. After all, he is a guy who honeymooned in the Soviet Union, and as Lindsey Graham said, and never returned, but because he spoke truth in advertising, where the Democratic Party is. Up until now, it was impossible for Democrats to admit their socialist inclinations, always resisted that as a calumny hurled from the right. Now they're running an openly open socialist, and I think what he really is he's speaking what Obama thinks. Obama wanted single payer, but he wouldn't do it. There are all kinds of expansiveness of the government he would like to do, but hasn't had a chance to do because he couldn't. Bernie says what the heart of the Democrats think, and it's good that we finally heard it.
But will Democratic primary voters and caucus goers be nice to Bernie Sanders?
They will not be, because they want to win more than anything, but their heart is with Bernie.